I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. They worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Let him hear.
We get our interpretation from Daniel 7, another Old Testament prophet. And we know the interpretation because Gabriel gave it to him. Both dreams Daniel has represent empires or kingdoms that would be in control of the known civilized world. And in both dreams, there's different symbols but the same interpretation. One is represented by a beast made of all these different animals, and one is representing a statue made of different metals representing the same thing. They're nations or empires or kingdoms that are going to be in control of the known world. So that is how we get our interpretation of Revelation.
Daniel said, In my vision at night I looked, and there before me were the 4 winds of heaven churning up the great sea. 4 great beasts, each different from the others, came up out of the sea. The first was like a lion, and it had the wings of an eagle. I watched until its wings were torn off and it was lifted from the ground, so that it stood on 2 feet like a human being, and the mind of a human was given to it. And there before me was a second beast, which looked like a bear. It was raised up on one of its sides, and it had 3 ribs in its mouth between its teeth. It was told, Get up and eat your fill of flesh. After that I looked, and there before me was another beast, one that looked like a leopard, and on its back it had 4 wings like those of a bird. This beast had 4 heads, and it was given authority to rule. After that, in my vision at night I looked, and there before me was a 4th beast.
Okay, so now that we've seen the picture and heard the scriptures from Revelation 13 and Daniel 7, we only did the animals. There's no need to show you the statue. The statue and the different metals that could make the composite of the statue are just the same thing. It's interpreted as the same thing. So we're going with the animals here. So we'll go one by one what they are. The first beast, winged lion, that is Babylon. That would have been the gold head of the statue. The bear with the 3 ribs would have been Medo-Persia. Then you have the winged leopard. That would have been Greece or Alexander the Great and his 3 generals. That's why there's 4 wings on the leopard. One of those generals that split the empire up after Alexander's death was Ptolemy. And Cleopatra was his descendant, and he was Greek. That's how we know she was not Egyptian. Besides the coins we see, she looks very Greek. And the final beast there is a mashup of all of those animals with iron teeth, just like the statue has iron legs. That's the strength, the might of Rome's army. So it's got some attributes of each one of these nations. So in summary, scripture and our understanding of both of the visions of Daniel give us the identification of each beast. And this one beast that's in Revelation 13 is like a mashup of all the different beasts mentioned. And just in a general picture, it's got parts of the bear, it's got parts of the leopard. And so it has some attributes of these prior nations all together. And so that is identifying the actual beast. So the question was, is the internet the beast system? No. Now, hopefully you'll understand better once I explain it. But the internet is just a means of communication, fast communication. And I do think it's possible that prophetically scripture maybe alludes to it. It's possible because it talks about information going to and fro, I believe, quickly. So that's possible. But the internet can be used for evil or good. So, for instance, my channel preaches the gospel of the grace of Christ, salvation as a free gift through the redemptive work of Jesus. That is a kingdom message. So, it is being used as a vehicle to promote the good news. And there's also evil things the internet can be used for. So it's a tool that can be used or abused. It can be used by either kingdom. It's really the heart of man that makes it what it is. So in itself, it's neutral. It's just a tool. But it is man's hearts that make it good or bad. So no, let's identify the beast. So as I said, it's comparable. There were two dreams or night visions given to Daniel that identify, and Gabriel tells him what the one vision means, and they are different symbols, but the same message, right? Same interpretation. And so looking at the statue with the different metals, each metal is a different nation that is describing its wealth and its military might and power, attributes, as it were. And the other vision, they're represented as different beasts, right? Different animals, but they're the same one. So the head of gold is Babylon. That is a lion with eagle's wings, I think. That's Babylon. And then you've got your bear. That would be the Medo-Persian Empire. And then you have the leopard. He also has wings. And that would have been Alexander the Great's conquering, which would have been Greece, right? And then you've got this other beast in 13 with this iron in the legs of the statue, and it's kind of a monstrosity of animals, kind of all mixed together. And it has 10 horns, right? That's the 10 emperors, 10 rulers. And then there's the little horn, which I have my own view of what that horn is. So the beast is not a tool of information. Beast is a kingdom of humanity, like a man-centered kingdom, but it really has a satanic agenda behind it because it's all worldly, right? It's all about temporal, take, and it's not God's kingdom. So they're beasts. That's a mashup that has the strength and wealth of and attributes of different nations. So, since Rome is not like a huge, like, international force as a nation, however, for those that have the dispensational futuristic view of this, they may, and some do, consider Holy Roman Empire with the Pope being symbolic of still having world influence. So I'm just saying that is a belief among some. It was more popular during the time of the historicist view, which is kind of faded away now. I think only Seventh day Adventists, I think Brother Luke said Seventh day Adventists hold to it still, but most, after the Middle Ages, people kind of came out of that view. That's why we went from the 4 views of Revelation down to 3. So now we're just discussing preterist, but really partial preterism, because I don't know anybody that's a full preterist. I'm a partial preterist. The dispensational futurist view, as well as the idealistic view, idealism, so I fall between partial preterism and idealism, because I do believe that prophecy can be cyclical, like it can happen, but it hasn't happened yet, right? It's already happened, but not yet. It's going to happen again, basically. So, no, the internet is not the beast system. I hope that answered it for you with enough validity that you can put your mind at rest over it. All right. Thank you, guys. God bless you.